A total new defense before the 1st of February. Yes, it is possible, and I will tell you how this lineup that you see on the screen now, with Cambiaso on the left, Kalulu on the right side, and two new signings, Hancko and Silva, can be possible from a dream to a reality. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. We start immediately. I'm asking you to put a maximum of like on this video, to continue to subscribe because we'll speak about Mercato. We'll try to explain you with the words of Giovanni Albanese. I didn't only read the tweet, but I had the opportunity to have him on the phone for more than 10 minutes. He explained us about how Juventus is trying to make a dream a reality. Of course, there will be some big sacrifices, and the name of Nicolo Fagioli is there. More and more and more in the outgoing list. It's not only Juve that is asking for him to leave, but there is something else that I will tell you in today's video. So put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because now we start. I tell you, and it's important to continue to repeat it, this was not the initial plan of Juve 24-25 for January. The plan was, we missed on Sancho, we keep a bit of budget, we try to see, and according to what we have, what we need, we go with an offensive player only. And then 25-26, we reinforce the team where it's needed. Maybe on some fullbacks, maybe a center back, maybe a midfielder, changing something that is not working. But winter, only one name. Unfortunately, it happened at Bremer against Leipzig. Crack, crack, Cabal in Colombia. And we need some reinforce there in the defense. Also because we don't know how fast Bremer will come back. We don't know how fast Cabal will come back. And when I'm saying how fast, it's not that we count on them this season, but we are already speaking about the beginning of next season. And we don't know at what level they will come back immediately. So big things of Juve thinking we need to anticipate. We need to anticipate. One of the first ideas of Juve has always been we extend the contract of Dusan Vlahovic, reducing the salary and being able to split over more years the depreciation, the value of Dusan Vlahovic, which will make actually financially that we are recuperating a lot of money. We're saving a lot of money immediately. That impact is less strong. And with that money, we go with an offensive player. At the moment, as we speak, on the 4th of December, there is absolutely no agreement from the Dusan Vlahovic side and Juventus side, from the management of Dusan Vlahovic and Juve. At the moment, no contract has been signed. Not only with new formula in terms of salary, but also not just black and white with the same formula. There is nothing at the moment between Dusan and Juve. So they will continue to talk. More we are going towards the end of the year, more we will have some clarity. But of course, Juventus is also now with some experience about the Dybala case, the Federico Chiesa case. They are also thinking, attenzione, more and more voices are coming from UK that there are not only Arsenal, but also some teams that are interested on the Serbian number 9 of Juve already for January. There is one thing that is annoying Juve at a certain moment is also the behavior, the attitude of Dusan after the words in Serbia that were not really digested still from Juve. And Juve has one priority set by Giovanni Albanese, not my way of interpreting things. Giovanni told us at the phone a bit earlier today, Dusan needs to go back in the line. He needs to go back in the line. That's a really huge priority. If he believes that he's over the rest, Juventus will not appreciate it. And then a possibility to sell him in January could even be taken in consideration. Not sure that he will leave. Let's see what will happen with the contract. Let's see how Dusan will react. We are speaking about him being back against the game, for the game of Bologna. It's important to see what way Dusan will be back, how he will be back. Super important. So let's monitor the situation of Dusan Vlahovic. Not only Dusan, but there is another name that is there on the first pages, the one of Nicolo Fagioli. Motta non lo vede in Gazzetta dello Sport. Motta is not seeing him. Perché la Juve venderà Fagioli? It's important how they are writing it. It's not a question mark. It's not a doubt. They are really going with why will Juventus sell Nicolo Fagioli? Fagioli, the trust is over. Big words from Gazzetta on Nicolo Fagioli. Huge big words. Ragazzi, I always told you, I take the news that I read online and I balance them. I'm cautious with the news, especially when it's coming from one side. But there are two things that are giving me strength in when I'm bringing them here on the channel is one, the consistency of a news. Boom, 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 boom. Every day. Bigger. And especially when more journalists, more papers, especially papers that are a bit in competition, are reporting the same things. That's where I start connecting the dots and I tell you, guys, I cannot promise you because Mercato is totally crazy. What is true today can change tomorrow. But when we start reading on multiple papers from multiple sources that there is a news that is there that big, because it's a big one, something is real. We see it on Gazzetta. They are going with big affirmations. It's not doubts, questions, maybe. It's big ones. Juve, why they will sell Fagioli. Motta has no trust in him anymore. It's over with the trust in terms of playing time. We saw it also in the recent game that he's not receiving the trust from the first minute. Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about it. Tutto Sport is speaking about it. The money from the Premier League for Fagioli. Written by Niccolò Schira. That is saying there is a strong interest from Nottingham and also Crystal Palace. Also Tottenham tried for the Italian player. Why Tottenham? Because even if Paratici is legally not working anymore for Tottenham, is still one of the consiglieri, one of the voices, the support, speaking. We know that it is a bit Paratici that brought Fagioli to Juve. They come both from Piacenza, where they were born, both of them. Tottenham was interested in the player. At the moment, they are a bit further away, but there are some clubs from Premier League that are on him. Not only, there is also l'Olympique de Marseille, the Zerbi, you know, the connection, Marseille-Juve, Ravanelli, Benatia, Longoria, you know, the Zerbi, attracted by Italian talents as well, a qualitative player, a technique player. So l'Olympique de Marseille is high on him. There is the Atletico Madrid that always had a flair, an interest in Niccolò. Leipzig will be the new entry. At the moment, nobody is speaking about Leipzig. You will see that in a few days, it will be reported that Leipzig is interested in Niccolò Fagioli. So there is a lot of offer. What is the offer? At the moment, they are speaking about 25, 30 million euro. That for Juventus will be important because it's all profit. More than that, it will be difficult for Niccolò Fagioli. Now, there is another news that is important also to say, because we are always blaming Juve, but there are two sides on the story. If on the field at the moment we see that Thiago Motta is not really giving the trust to Niccolò, sporting side. On the other side, there are some rumors that are saying that it is also Niccolò that asked to speak with Juve about his situation, about his status, about the way that he's playing, the minutes that he's playing, but also about the necessity to maybe look away from Italy. So not remaining with Italy, but the need of having fresh air. Guys, pay attention. It's a rumor. It's not a confirmation, but it's something that I can believe in. I can believe that at a certain moment, after everything what Niccolò had as an experience last year, fighting against it, working on it, at a certain moment you'd say, I need to change, to turn the page, to really change country. Like when you go on holiday, you need a break. Well, probably Fagioli is in a moment of his life where also him needs a break from Italy, from that toxicity, from his past, going and rebuild something else somewhere else. So it could be also that we need to take that one into consideration. Niccolò Fagioli is more and more on the market. Could be one of the names that is sacrificed on top of other. Because Mbangula today, the news comes with Juventus thinking to accept an offer if the offer comes. 8 million, 10 million euro for the Belgian player. There is strong interest from Liga, especially from Liga, but also from Bundesliga. A player that showed himself in the first division, in the first games. Do you remember? Como, the goal, then Verona, the beautiful assist. Now he's still used by Thiago Motta, but in the latest minutes. But still used. So it's still a player that is receiving the trust from Thiago. Maybe not from the start, but he's still a player that is there in the 25 of Juve. A player that received a call-up from the first Belgian national team. He didn't play, but it's a player that is growing in terms of value, where Juventus says, if we need to go for our dream, that is a necessity dream, to reinforce our defense, well, maybe we need to put some players on the market. And if a Niccolò Fagioli can bring us pure profit, another one could be Mbangula. Of course, if you want to sell Mbangula, you need to also to reinforce yourself up front. And that's the names of the strikers that we'll speak probably tomorrow about, because today we focus on the defense. A last name that Juventus could sacrifice already in January, we already spoke about him yesterday, it is Danilo. Danilo, the voices are there. The voices are there. You will not cash in with Danilo, but you will probably save a lot of money in terms of salary. 2.5 million euro net in terms of salary, the remaining part of his salary until the end of the year, and also creating spot. And then that's where you tell me, Beppe, but if Danilo goes away, we already need 2 defenders. How is it possible? Because then we need 3 defenders. And no. Because if you go really with a Hancko and with an Antonio Silva, without a Danilo, you form a defense of 7 players. Cambiaso on the left, Hancko, Antonio Silva, and Kalulu. But back then you have Savona, Gatti, Rui. There are no starters. They can all play diverse position. There is a Hancko that can play on the left back, with Cambiaso can play on the right. You have a Kalulu that can play as a center back on the left, as a center back on the right. You have a Gatti that can play as a center back on the right, on the left. You have a Savona that can play in a 3-man defense, that can play on the center back on the right. He can play as a right back. So it's not really starting lineup or not. We know that Thiago Motta is a coach that if he has players at disposal, he loves to change and to look at the characteristics of his players against what team we are playing. So it is feasible. It is feasible. Now, of course, you will tell me, Beppe, yeah, okay, but Hancko, Antonio Silva, you tell me that you want to sell, but are these players possible? Yes, they are possible. Hancko is a player that already was in Italy, played only 5 games with Fiorentina 6 years ago in 18-19, didn't really impress back then, but he was really young. We are speaking about a player of 20 that was just arriving in the first big football world. Then he went to Sparta Praga, then now he's at Feyenoord. Feyenoord is a friendly club of Juve. We know that story of Facundo Gonzalez that can be one of the keys in that transition, in that transaction, in that deal, in these negotiations. It's not enough, Facundo Gonzalez, but it's already a door that is open in terms of discussion. It's a player that Juventus, they are targeting to go with a 25-30 million euro. It's a player that actually Juventus had on their books to invest in 25-26 Mercato. But now they understand the urgency, they understand the need, and now they want to anticipate. They said, look, it was someone that we wanted to go as the heir of Danilo. Why the heir of Danilo? Because he can play as a fullback, he can play as a center back. It's a player that we already wanted to go for him. But if we can anticipate, why not? If we can enter this talk, why not? Then maybe we can offer an obligation to buy so that we don't spend immediately, so that we keep still a bit of money, that we are a bit safe, but maybe an option to buy, an obligation to buy. But it's a player that we want to attract already immediately. Anticipate what we wanted to do in the summer, because we are in need. It was not planned, but let's go faster on it. And on top of that, if we are able to go with another player, Antonio Silva, with a creative formula a la Conceição, that would be the bingo. Why am I telling you Conceição, that creative formula? Because we know it, Conceição is a player in the Scuderia, in the management, Jorge Mendes, ex-manager of Cristiano Ronaldo. So also there is connecting the knots. We know that Jorge Mendes has beautiful talks with Juve, with Cristiano Giuntoli. We know that Juventus will go for Conceição already in the summer or as soon as possible, investing the money that was promised, going for the close or not. Let's see. So Conceição and the same formula for Antonio Silva will be tough, because Benfica, they will try to play high. But Jorge Mendes, that is insisting on that also, because the player is already 4 games that he's not even starting any game with Benfica. That could be the solution for Juve. Creative solutions, loan, obligation, loan with option, anticipating some players to have that. I asked to Giovanni Albanese today on the phone, I said, Giovanni, but what about a striker? He said, look, the priority is the defense. The priority is the defense. The priority is the defense. The defense. That's it. Then, if something is happening, you never know, because the situation of Vlahovic needs to be monitored. And it's true that I remember the words of Cristiano Giuntoli, Gran Gala del Calcio. He said, we trust in Milik. We believe that he's a player that is adapted to the way of playing to Thiago Motta. Then, if something is happening, we will be open to monitor the situation. Of course, I was monitoring if something happens with the physical condition of Milik, if he's not able to recuperate fast enough. And what if he was actually speaking about if something happened referring to Vlahovic? That's why I'm telling you more and more and more, pay attention to these voices. Pay attention to the voices. Then you will tell me, Beppe, but what is Juve doing? They're sacrificing everyone. Fagioli, ciao. This one, ciao. Danilo, ciao. We are sacrificing everyone. Everyone is on the market. Mbangula, next gen, ciao. No, Juventus is not sacrificing everyone. There are some voices from Manchester United strong on Kenan Yildiz. Juventus has absolutely no intention to let him go. Juventus has absolutely no intention to let him go. And Yildiz has absolutely no intention to leave. Kenan Yildiz stays at Juve. Now, of course, he needs to confirm, and also to show Thiago Motta that he can even offer something more closer to the goal. Let's see if Thiago will be convinced. Another one that needs to convince Thiago is Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, there are a lot of voices. I see sometimes when I speak about him, injured. He's not really injured. He wants to leave already in January. From the latest report, he has no intention to leave. He wants to stay. He wants to convince Thiago from a behavior point of view, for an exemplarity of point of view, and also on the field. He wants to show that he can succeed at Juve. So Thiago is waiting for him. Juve is waiting for him. Supporters are waiting for him. Before classifying him as a flop, it cannot be that he's a flop from one day to another. But he needs to show it fast, and he wants to. And that's already a start. Yesterday, I was watching TikTok, Juventus Women, and there was Alicia Lehmann that was speaking about where do I see my teammate, Cantore, going on holiday, Caruso going on holiday. She goes to New York, she goes to Barcelona, she goes to Spain, she goes to Dubai. What about Alicia Lehmann? And she said, I stay in Torino because I love the city of Torino. You will tell me, Beppe, that's something stupid. Beppe, you're crazy. No. I don't believe in coincidences. Juventus is really aware of the voices of Alicia Lehmann doesn't like the city of Torino. Douglas Luiz, they don't like the city of Torino. Pay attention to that. Pay attention. Connecting the dots again, I tell you. I finish with the good news, because then there is the live on Juventus from Gianluigi Buffon that I really want to follow. Vlahovic should recuperate for the game of Bologna. Again, not sure if he will start. Probably not. And then we have also another player, and that's a really good news. You know how much I care about him. It is Vasilije Adzic. It's time for Vazzi. Vazzi scoring a goal before 2025. Write it down. Whoever is there, write it down. Vasilije Adzic scoring his first goal in Bianconero before 2025. I hope you enjoyed. We see each other later with a second video. Grazie, forza, Juve.